next to me, and within 2 minutes had told me a lot of information about himself. And I don't feel like I have to be shy and discreet and tell you that one of the things that he told me was that he had a sex dungeon in his basement. So, yes, it is true. He did creep me out. I thought that he had very flexible boundaries. And you know, he was very playful and very funny, and we had a really funny conversation. And I didn't like the context of the information. You know, like the information I felt in the song made it seem like a bit weird and exploitive. But you know, I respect that band, and I respect sort of his legacy. And you know, we sort of let him know that we didn't love the way that we were portrayed in the song. I didn't think it was mean or anything. It's just that, you know, he sort of has there's a lot of jugheads in the audience, and we weren't totally sure that we were represented in a way that was completely fair or respectful or acknowledging of who we are as artists and who we are as people. But then he's also a guy who totally admits to like taking, you know, a handful of pills and drinking a bottle of vodka and then shitting his pants on stage. So I don't know if I'm just setting my expectations too high. But no, I respect him. He's cool. But yeah, that song happened and it's true.
That's hard to do on stage. Okay, some front people? Okay, you right there. Yeah. Hi.
You just said before that this was the last show for 2010, and it's getting towards the end of the year, so what have been like your highlights?
Okay, so the question is, what are some of our highlights from 2010? Thanks for the question. We've come to Australia twice. That's a highlight, to be able to come as well. Yeah. When we started coming over here like 8 years ago, the first time we were like, this is our one trip to Australia, and we've come so many times now, and it's been wonderful each time. Each time it's different. You know, one time we'll come and open for Jack Johnson, and last time we came we did festivals and our own shows, and we opened for Little Birdie one time when we came here, and we've had like a career here. Like we've had a whole career. We have so many stories and so many memories. We wrote a book about Australia. I mean, we love it here, so to get to come here so much is definitely a highlight. You know, touring with Paramore, touring with Jack Johnson, we haven't opened for people in years, so it was kind of a highlight in a strange way because you have to get up there and you have to work so hard. We'd get off stage in the summer and I'd be dripping sweat. I mean, Paramore's audience are so excitable and like so young and so intense and so ready for music, and so we couldn't get up there and phone it in. Like we had to get up there and rock out. Like halfway through the tour I looked over and Sarah was jumping like on stage and dancing around, spinning around with the guitar. I was like, holy shit, what is happening? So our band grew, like we evolved into like a much more active band, and I think we became more confident on stage, so that's definitely a highlight looking back. And I mean, it's so hard. Our career has been full of incredible achievements. You know, when Sarah and I graduated high school 12 years ago, we promised our parents we'd go to university 1 year after we took a break. We were just going to travel around, play music for a while, and then get serious about life. And we are still doing this. Like it's, every time we go somewhere, there's more people. Our records keep selling. We keep having inspiration to write more music. Our audience keeps growing. It just keeps happening. And those are the highlights. The highlights are sort of just being able to, like we just played in our hometown, and we played at the place where we graduated. It's like a 3,000 seat venue, and we did 2 sold out nights. And my parents were, like all my family, my grandpa, like everyone were in the front row, and like, it's just like so cool afterwards. They're like just thrilled, and those are kind of the highlights for us too, like the family friend moments where people are excited to see us not successful. Like, I think there was some worry that might not work out. We played a lot of sports bars and coffee shops and a lot of empty bars, and so now we're sort of reaping the benefits of all the work we've done, and it feels pretty good. So yeah. Okay, way in the back. Yeah. Oh, hold on, sorry. We have 2 people asking questions. Yes, the person who's standing, I would like to hear your question, but you're going to have to talk really loud. Okay, go.
Where is your favorite place to write songs?
Favorite place to write songs?
I don't, honestly, similar to the collaborative question, or collaboration question, I just feel like I have to be in such a specific zone to write music, and often that usually isn't on the road or during any sort of holiday season or period of happiness. I'm basically like I'm like very specialized, the skill set that I have. Like I really have a hard time writing unless I'm really in my comfort zone. I love to write in Montreal, that's where I spend a lot of my time off. So generally if I'm there and I'm alone and it's winter and I'm sad, post magic happens. So, but lately one of the really great things about collaborating is that you don't really have an opportunity to just wait until the inspiration comes, and so it's forced me to be a lot more, like, and I don't know if anybody here is an artist or a musician, but I never really understood the discipline that you would probably learn from, you know, being in a scholastic environment, you know, if you went to school for music or something like that. I just always was very whimsical and like, I'll just write when I feel like it, and off we go, and you know, and working in a collaborative situation has made me exercise a more sort of structured approach and discipline to my writing, and I think that's been really effective for me. But I still kind of need to be in a situation where I don't think someone is listening to me. I have like weird issues with the idea that someone's listening in on me, and I know how that sounds.
Like real people or people inside?
Like my neighbors. And so in Montreal, it's like I have like a really quiet bunker type apartment, and for the most part, I'm pretty sure that either everyone is dead in the building or they're as shy as I am, because I've been there 4 years and I've never really seen anybody, except for this one woman that I think might be either a lady of the night or a vampire, because she has a terrifying dog that protects her during the day. But besides her, and I don't care if she hears me because I have heard some shit go down, I have that to use against her if she ever says anything to me, like, you know, whatever about my singing, but that's generally where I like to write.
All right, we have time for a couple more questions. Yeah, right here in the front row. What is, okay, the question is, what's our favorite song that you guys have ever written? Thank you for using that word again. I like to bring back the jokes.
What's your favorite song?
Yeah, what is your favorite song? 19? And is The Con your favorite record? As a whole, if you had to pick a record. Like, it's okay. Yeah. You like the old stuff. Okay. Like, do you love Under Feel Like Ours? What did you just say? Oh, you have to yell it. I can't hear you. Now you're shy. Yeah. You like the old stuff heaps better. Heaps, I like heaps too. That's another one I'm taking home with me. Well, here, Sarah and I, we find it really hard to answer that question because we're attached to everything we write. There's not really a favorite for us, but I will address both of you. The young lady in the back and you up front. You know, when we started our music career, we were 15 years old. We played in people's garages. Sarah and I had a punk band. It was called Plunk. And we had an electric guitar and acoustic guitar, and we just ran them through these terrible amps, and we would just scream hysterically and play guitar, and my parents were probably like, and then when we graduated, we sort of started taking music a little more seriously and you know, broadening our musical horizons. And so our first couple records reflect our songwriting, but not necessarily our musicianship. And it's not really until If It Was You and So Jealous that we were able to start really emulating what it is that we listen to or how we envision our music. And it's really fascinating to us. There's this whole section of our audience that loves the early music, and I've analyzed their reasons. Like ad nauseum, like I talk about it, I think about it, I write about it, I email about it, I bring it up to my friends. I try to understand how someone could like songs off of our early records compared to our new records, because we just are such better songwriters and such better musicians. But in a strange way, I do understand being attached to, you know, our earlier music, because I think there was a vulnerability to us. You know, there was a naivety, there was a, you know, a youthfulness, there was an intensity. Like, there was awkwardness, there was, you know, all that stuff, and we've evened that out. We've ironed those elements of our personalities and our person out now, because just like all of you sitting in this room, as you grow older, you grow more confident, you grow better at what you do, and so it's a strange one, because then when someone comes up to you and they're like, but I liked you so much better when you were younger, you're like, well, but I'm older now, and I'm funnier, and look at my hair, doesn't it look better, and like, In a strange way, it's the same thing about music. Like, when people tell us they like the early records, my instinct, like my knee-jerk instinct is to say, but our new records are better. But I have started to really understand that, and that's why we're bringing back so much of our old music into these shows, because we want to please everybody. We want to really try to get our old music to add up to our new music. So to both of you, I hope that you keep listening to Tegan and Sara in the future. We'll try to capture all those different elements, hopefully, on our next record and move us forward. So yeah, thanks for the questions. Okay, so we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do who do I want? It's like the last one. There's so much pressure. Who do I pick? There's so many excited faces, so many sad faces. People want them to be the one. Okay, I'm gonna pick you in the striped top, right there. Both hands up in the air, fully engaged. Let's hear your question.
How do you guys choose your support acts? Like when you do your solo tours?
How do we pick support acts?
Yeah, like do they email you or do you know them?
Most of the time, they're bands that we're familiar with, that we are fans of, or that we like, and definitely on the last two records, we've learned to. I think that we've learned to make friends and to get into.
Learn to make friends.
Well, we used to just take people we knew, like it was a sure thing. We would just bring anybody like that we were friends with. We were like, you can play guitar, come on, like come on tour with us, because we wanted to be around people that we loved and cared about. But we've learned to be a little bit more open-minded, and we take bands that it's a little bit of a risk, but we won't. Actually, the truthful answer is that I just honestly want bands that I think the audience is gonna like, because there's nothing more discouraging than watching people you like on stage shit the bed in front of an audience, because you're just like, okay, well that didn't go great, and then you're like, here we are. And the audience is sort of like, oh god, like that band was shit before you. So we try to sort of like make sure that we're getting our needs met, like our friends, but also music we like, but also music we think our audience might like. And it really isn't just like something it's not a detail that we overlook. We don't just put anyone on the stage. Like we want to create an environment from the beginning of the show till the end of the show, so that people feel like they got something different. And I see a lot of shows, and you guys probably see a lot of shows, and we're trying to sort of do something, stand out a little bit, just so that we can. This is how we make a living. So we don't want people to feel like they saw us once, so there's no point in coming and seeing us again. So a big part of that is making sure that we have bands that that the audience will like and will want to come out and check out. The Jezebels was amazing. You obviously know the Jezebels.
We also
love them. And Ann Horse, another Australian band. But yeah, Australia has amazing music. I mean, right now,
really do.
I just got to see the Jezebels actually play in New York last month, and it was like I felt pride, because I just thought like it's scarier in New York, and it was their first time doing their show, and I felt like a proud mother standing in the crowd and watching them kill it. So they're representing Australia very, very well. It was really cool. So anyways, but thanks you guys. I hope this wasn't too weird. And we appreciate you guys asking thoughtful questions and being so attentive. And now we're going to play the rock set. So please stand up. Get out of your seats. Go ahead. Maybe when the lights come down, then stand up. I think.